I've spent more time playing World of Warcraft than any other game. I quit playing WoW in 2021 after more than 15 years because I finally accepted that I've outgrown the game. I fell in love with WoW as soon as I started playing it back in 2005. My favorite things to do in the game were to explore the different zones in the world and mess around with friends in casual PvP. In 2010, my enjoyment of the game slowly started to decline. Despite the big changes to Azeroth, the world didn't feel new to me anymore since I had been playing it for over 5 years, so the excitement of a new game was gone. I started to get bored of casual PvP and queuing for the same battlegrounds all day long. Also, most of my friends quit playing the game around this time. Despite that, I kept playing off and on over the years with the last few of my remaining active friends. All that time, I was constantly trying to relive the feelings I felt when playing it from 2005 to 2009. I had a short bit of fun in Legion because I joined a guild with an amazing leader. I finally gave raiding a try while in that guild and it was really fun. Until the guild leader left. When my guild leader eventually left the guild, I found raiding to just be okay. I don't think any of WoW's activities are inherently fun, but when you play with the right people, it can be at best amazing, or at the very least, tolerable enough to keep you playing. For example, I don't really like leveling, but I forced myself to level as fast as possible to get it over with so I could be at max level. Leveling with a friend distracted me from the chore. I was only still playing the game for so long because I had one other friend that still played. When I did finally quit, I remember being so angry. I remember not wanting to give Blizzard a single cent ever again. At the time, I was most annoyed with their borrowed power systems, lackluster stories, toxic community, and lack of care from developers about problems in the game. So, I finally walked away from the game. All of my anger towards Blizzard has gone away, and I've just accepted that the game isn't for me anymore. After being away from the game for a year, I had a lot of time to think about what I would even do in the game if I were to play it again. I think that raiding is decently fun in WoW, but I don't love it enough to go through the endless grind of getting gear and repeating the same content over and over. I'm not a super competitive player either, so Mythic Plus, rated Battlegrounds, and high-rated Arena wouldn't appeal to me either. I'm more of a casual player, but the casual content isn't for me either. I could queue for unrated Battlegrounds, but that stopped being fun for me in 2010. I can sometimes enjoy low-rated Arena with my IRL friend to mess around, but that wouldn't be a big enough reason for me to play again. I don't really like the art style of the gear. I think they're too big and or flashy, so I never really liked transmog farming. I don't really care for mount collecting since I'd always just use the same 2 or 3 mounts. I could just briefly play each patch for its new daily quests and story, but I don't like WoW's low-effort questing system. Also, WoW's lore in-game is pretty bland. Their in-game cutscenes are pretty good, but I could always just go on YouTube instead if I was ever curious about the current lore. So as you can see, nothing about modern WoW appeals to me. They would probably have to make a completely new WoW 2 for me to even consider coming back in the future. After telling you my long list of reasons for why the game isn't for me anymore, it was still hard to leave because I had just been playing the game for so many years. I had just grown so comfortable with it. A lot of people say this, but it's true. I was in an abusive relationship with WoW. I thankfully don't have any urges to play it at the moment, but if I ever did again, I would fight the urges because going back to WoW would be like getting back together with a familiar but abusive ex. After giving Final Fantasy XIV a try, I found out that this game was just more of my style. I just wish that I'd given it a chance a long time ago. So much of my enjoyment of WoW relied on my friends being available and online to make the grinds less painful and to avoid having to play with strangers who would likely be really toxic. With FF14 being more of a single-player JRPG in most of the MSQ, I'm able to enjoy the game and its amazing story on my own. I used to really like WoW's lore, but its more recent lore is really shallow by comparison. I guess I was just more easily impressed when I used to play WoW. 14's art style is also just more to my taste. On top of the animations and zones looking nicer, I actually really love how the gear looks. I'm not a hardcore fashion person, but I actually do enjoy collecting some different glamour sets in the game. I personally feel like 14's dungeons and raids are way better than WoW's. I love that you don't need to stare at deadly boss mods the whole fight. I actually keep my eyes on the fight in this game. But the biggest reason I like 14 so much is its community. When I'm doing PvE content, people are really understanding. I always announce when it's my first time doing a dungeon in the party chat, so when I mess up, instead of getting yelled at, I just get some helpful info. Also, when I stream the game, veteran players are always super helpful in the chat. It's kind of crazy how welcoming the community is. I'm still a new player going through the MSQ. I'm currently in Stormblood, so there's so much more I haven't experienced yet. I can't wait to experience even more great stuff in the future. If you're curious about seeing my journey through Stormblood, you can watch my Let's Play Stormblood series. I cut out all of the loading screens and other filler. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much to the 14 community for being so welcoming to me and the other WoW refugees.